Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Tuesday. Today I have my most used bags of 2016. Now I know that we're still in December, but I don't foresee this list changing within the next couple of weeks. It was really interesting to see which bags I ended up using the most, especially because two of the bags that I'm about to show you were also featured in last year's most used bags of 2015. I will put that in the description box below if you guys are interested. Now, these are not in a particular order except for the very first one. The very first bag that I'm about to show you is a bag that I have talked your guys' ear off. I rave about it. It's been in numerous monthly favorites and I just cannot, I cannot stop talking about it, which is this beauty. This is the Chanel medium large in the black caviar leather with the silver hardware. Now when it comes to this bag, it definitely adds variety to my collection because for the most part, all of my other handbags, even my Chanel ones, tend to be gold hardware. So the fact that this has silver adds a nice little touch to the collection. And I just have to say, this bag is so incredibly comfortable. My goodness. It is very, very lightweight, even with it being a double flap and even with it being an all leather bag. It is just such a joy to use. Whether you decide to wear it crossbody, I cannot, it looks super funky on me, or whether you decide to wear it on one shoulder strap or doubled, it is just, it doesn't end up digging into your shoulders at all, and I love that. You have to go a little bit more compact with this bag, not a lot, because you still have quite a bit of space. So there you go, there's an inside shot of it, but it is also very carefree because it has the caviar leather. So it's one of those bags that you really don't have to think of. I was able to use this in the rain, the seldom times that it does rain here in Southern California, but I didn't have an issue with rain whatsoever. And again, it's just very, very carefree and such a great durable bag. So I cannot rave about it enough. But this bag I definitely ended up using the most throughout the entire year over any other handbag. So the Chanel medium large in the double flap with the black caviar leather and the silver hardware. So huge, huge recommendation for that bag. Moving on to a bag that doesn't need a huge introduction, and that is the Louis Vuitton Neverful in the size with the monogram canvas. This is the older version as it doesn't come with a pochette and it has the cursive interior that you can see right there. Now this bag, again, like I said before, it's one of those bags that I have talked about a million times over. I have featured it in tons of monthly favorites, and this is a bag that definitely is a great addition to any collection at any point in time. Very, very comfortable, especially if you were to get it with the Vachetta straps, because these straps right here make it very easy to be able to carry for long periods of time without it digging into your shoulders. But you can fit so much in this. It's very, very versatile. You can use it as a beach bag, you can use it as a work tote, you can use it as an everyday bag, what have you. The possibilities are endless when it comes to this bag. And because it is a tote, you're able to see everything at a glance. You're able to throw everything in there that you want to. And I just cannot rave about this bag enough. And I think that this is probably one of the best bags that Louis Vuitton has in their fashion house, just because, again, it's very, very easy to use, very, very comfortable. And the fact that you are able to see everything, like I said before, at a glance really makes me happy, because that's something that I look for in a bag. I don't want too fussy of a handbag. I don't want too fussy of an opening. Now, some people do say that one of the aspects that they don't like about this bag is because it is open, but again, to each their own, and that's just one of the details that I prefer on this type of bag. So again, the Louis Vuitton Neverful in the monogram canvas in the size, and kind of like what I talked about on my handbag collection video, I prefer the size, only because I feel that the size is just a little bit more comfortable to be able to wear on your shoulder. The GM, I feel, is a little bit overwhelming, especially if you start to fill it with all of your items. It can get a little bit heavier. Again, not as much, because especially if you go for the Vachetta, it tends to be very comfortable. But I just feel that the silhouette is just an overall overwhelming look for me and my taste. The PM, I do like the bag, but I feel that the shoulder strap, the strap drop, is a little too restricting. So if you were to wear a cardigan, a jacket, or something like that, you're not going to be able to put it on your shoulder and wear it comfortably. So that's why I prefer the size. I just like the strap drop a lot better, and I just feel it's the most comfortable out of the three lineups. So the Louis Vuitton Neverful in the size and the monogram canvas. All right, now moving on to a bag that was added to my collection a lot later in the year, but for as long as I have had it, I have used it to death. And that is the Chanel mini rectangular flap in the black lambskin with the light gold hardware. Absolutely love this bag. And even though it is small, my goodness, it can fit so much in here. I'm able to put my phone, my car keys, my round coin purse, a lipstick, a little card holder. I think I have space for other things. I don't know. But I will be doing a review on this very soon. But I just really like the combination of the lambskin leather. And as I said, again, kind of like in my collection video, lambskin really wasn't, I never really gave it a chance. I always thought super, super delicate, way too delicate for me, especially because sometimes I like to use bags. I want to be able to enjoy a handbag. And the last thing that I want to be doing is babying any of it, like, oh, you can't touch this. Oh, like I feel like I'm sometimes putting them in a bubble. And that's kind of how I felt with the lambskin leather, but I have been pleasantly surprised. I haven't had any issues with this whatsoever. I have been able to use it and just enjoy the handbag without having to baby it, without having to go through that whole, you know, putting it in a bubble type of process. And as you can see, it is held up incredibly well. And like I said before, when I say that I have used it to death, I have used it to death. Every chance that I get, sometimes I end up reaching for it if we're going out to dinner, if we're meeting friends, or just if I'm going out and about. There really is no set time that I prefer to use this bag. I just enjoy using it at any point in time. And even though it is small, as I said, you're able to fit quite a bit in there. I tend to prefer the rectangular mini over the square. Don't get me wrong. I think that the square is absolutely gorgeous. I just feel that for me and my body frame, it doesn't really look right. I feel that I kind of overwhelm the bag if I go for the square, whereas the mini, the rectangular, I feel that it's just it looks a little bit more proportionate with my body frame, if that makes any sense. But regardless, either one of them are great, but this guy right here has just opened my eyes to a whole different texture, a whole different lineup from Chanel. And I just love the way that the lambskin feels. I love the way that the lambskin looks. So big fan of the classic rectangular flap mini in the black lambskin with the light gold hardware. I think I said that wrong, but whatever. Onto a bag that is what I call my game changer, and that is the Louis Vuitton Puset Matisse in the monogram canvas. The reason why I call it a game changer is because for the most part, my collection consists of totes, top handle bags. I never really understood the importance, or I never understood why people would make such a big deal about a bag being crossbody. And you know, I just tend to prefer the other silhouettes. But when I got the Puset Matisse, when I added this bag to my collection, I understood why. The fact that I'm able to put this on crossbody, the fact that I'm able to be hands-free is so incredibly freeing. I don't have to worry about having to set my top handle back down. I don't have to worry about constantly dealing with shoulder straps falling down. Nothing like that. Very comfortable, very easy to use. And I love the fact that it does have the compartments, so you can fit quite a bit in here. I think I have a what's in my bag video with this bag, and if I do, I will put it in the description box below. I'm able to put like a full-size wallet in here. All of my daily essentials fit in here, and it still doesn't weigh down the bag, again, because I can go crossbody. Another great feature about this bag is the crossbody strap itself. Now, when I first saw this bag at the boutique, I thought that having a Vachetta detachable shoulder strap or a crossbody strap would be a lot better. I thought it would be a little bit more appealing, just because I don't know, I just thought that it was just way too much canvas going on. But I love the fact that it comes with the all canvas detachable shoulder strap, because I really think that it adds to how carefree the bag is, especially since it doesn't have too much Vachetta. It just has some Vachetta here on the top handle, and then it also has it on the little tab right here, as well as the side tabs. So it doesn't have too much Vachetta to where you have to constantly baby it. I know some people end up putting twillies or bandeaus on the handle to make it even more carefree. And you also have a zippered compartment on the back side, so that way if you want something to be a little bit more secure, you can do that as well. But just a big fan of the Puset Matisse. All right, moving on to this beauty, which is the Chanel GST, or the Grand Shopping Tote, in the black caviar leather with the gold hardware. I absolutely love this bag, especially since I mentioned earlier, I'm more of a tote girl. I love how easy they are to use. I love the fact that I'm able to see everything at a glance, throw all my items in there, and then if I wanted to go a little bit more secure, I can put the items in the zipper compartment here. But even though this bag has since been discontinued, if you guys are in the market for an absolutely fabulous tote from Chanel. I cannot stress how great of an addition the GST would be to any collection. Again, it's just super, super easy to use. Sometimes the shoulder straps tend to roll off my shoulder. Maybe it's because I don't have the best shoulders in the world. But all I do is I usually end up just crisscrossing these, and then I'm able to just set it on there and they don't really move. But I'm able to use this bag with a jacket, like a lighter jacket, a cardigan. Obviously, if I was to use a pea coat or a thicker jacket, I wouldn't be able to put it on my shoulder, so that's something to note. But for the most part, it's just grab and go, don't really think about it. And this bag is known for sagging as the years go by, but again, I've had mine for 3 years, 3.5 years, something like that. And I can tell you that it has held up incredibly well. Again, this is a bag that I don't like to baby whatsoever. So I would have to say that it looks pretty good for as old as it is. And the Chanel GST, or the Grand Shopping Tote, in the black caviar leather with the gold hardware. Love, love, love that bag. Now the next bag is one that I use the most during spring and summer, and even into fall, especially because here in Southern California, we got the memo late that it was fall season. But that is this beauty, which is the Louis Vuitton Classic Speedy 30 in the Demi Azur print. Kind of like totes, I also prefer top handle bags. However, I will be honest with you guys, I have put a Speedy bandolier on my wish list. It's just on my wish list. I went to go look at it the other day. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I put a picture of it. I think it's because, as I mentioned earlier, the Pochette Métis kind of opened my eyes to a whole different lineup of handbags. So it's on the wish list for now, and nothing is set in stone. But I do love the top handle, especially in the spring and summer, because it's just very easy to be able to carry. And another thing is that in the spring and the summer, I don't like to carry big bags because it tends to get very, very hot where I live. So if I have a top handle bag, I don't have to worry about extra heat anywhere on me, if that makes any sense. So the top handle just makes it that much easier to be able to carry around. And one of the questions that I get asked the most on my channel, it's probably the #1 question that I get, is how do I acquire a nice golden color on my patina? Or how do I get an even patina? Do I use something? Do I Scotch guard it? Do I do anything like that? And I can tell you guys, I don't. And that's because I personally prefer the natural characteristic that patina gets, or that the oxidizing of the leather gets. I feel that it definitely adds a personality or characteristic to your handbag. So if I was to get a water stain, if I was to get a type of uneven, uneven oxidizing or anything like that, I remember where it happened, and it kind of adds a story to the handbag. So I prefer that aspect of it. I like to call them beauty marks, because no other handbag will have that beauty mark. And I also want to let you guys know that when it comes to acquiring a nice, even patina, there's nothing better than the natural oils on your hands. Your hands will do all the work for you. I feel that personally, that if I was to add any other types of chemicals, sometimes the bag might look great for a little while, but then the more and more you use it, because you've added another chemical to it, because you've added something else to it, to either getting a different patina or something like that, it'll start to get really dark really quickly. And I just prefer the handles, or I just prefer the leather to look as natural as possible. So kind of like what I mentioned on my updated handbag collection, I haven't done anything to these handles on the Neverful, and you can see that it's gotten really, really dark, but it's still not as dark as you would see some on the pre-loved market, if that makes any sense. So that's why I say the best thing to do is just let it age naturally, let it get those beautiful beauty marks, and if it doesn't bother you. If it does bother you, obviously there's things that you can end up using. There's Scotch guarding, there's a few other companies, but I personally don't use anything. So that's just a little quick backstory or what have you on patina. But the Louis Vuitton Speedy 30 Classic Speedy in the Demi Azur. Now for the last bag in my most used bags lineup is an item that I didn't understand the hype about it. I'm sure a lot of you already know, especially if you watched my handbag collection video. I didn't understand why everyone was so crazy about this handbag. And it wasn't until I added this bag to my collection that I understood why, or where that love came from. And that is the Louis Vuitton Alma BB in the Demi Ebene print. I cannot say enough about this bag. It is small, it is considered a mini bag, but it can fit quite a bit in here. It's insane. It does have a little bit more of a restricting opening just because of the Alma and the way that it's structured. So the zippers tend to be a little bit stiffer. So that's something that I just wanted to note. These little zippers here, sometimes they're just a little bit, it's not as smooth to be able to open it up. At least mine isn't. And I've had a lot of people send me messages that they've had the same thing happen with theirs. But this bag is very, very, very carefree. You have the carefree damier bend, so you don't have to worry about color transfer. You also have the color treated leather that you don't have to worry about patina. You don't have to worry about water spots. You don't have to worry about anything like that. You're able to just use the bag and enjoy it. It comes with a detachable shoulder strap. Now the shoulder strap, I'm not able to use crossbody. It looks super funky on me, kind of like the medium large. Some people can pull it off, but it's actually to the perfect height. It ends up being right at my hip, and it makes it very easy for me to be able to grab any items that I have without it being too long or it being too short, if that makes any sense. Another great aspect about this bag is the fact that it has feet. So you don't have to worry about setting this down on an abrasive surface and thinking that you're going to be ruining the leather. So the feet, again, are a really great feature, so you don't have to worry too much about it. But the Louis Vuitton Alma BB in the damier bend print, and now I can safely say I get it. I understand the love and I understand the hype. And I'm super happy that I was able to add it to my collection. Not only that, but the fact that it has been such a joy to use. All right, you guys, so that does it for my most used bags of 2016. You know, come to think of it, none of them really ended up surprising me that they'd end up making the list, just because I have talked about all of these bags so many times. I've given you guys an earful, and I also wanted to just give you like a small little mini review on each one. That way, if you're thinking about adding any of these to your collection, you have a little bit more information. So thank you again so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all, if not tomorrow, I will see you on Thursday. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.